Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the CivShow Podcast. We suck, so you don't have to. I'm your host, Moy Sauce.
Raising Zozo.
And back by popular demand, Nystagmus.
Very popular demand. Dude, we missed you, man.
Congratulations, Nystagmus!
Yeah. You can give the announcement if you like, Nystagmus. Go ahead.
Yeah, so if people haven't noticed, I've been absent for the last couple Sundays, and that's because I became a first-time daddy. So I'm now someone's father. That's the scary part. So.
Hey, you know what's more scary? So am I.
Oh man! Oh no!
Ah!
Borderline, what's up, man? Happy launch day, Borderline, and welcome back.
Happy launch day.
Happy launch day. Thank you for
what
the
a
100 bits,
one.
Borderline. Really appreciate it.
I can't wait till the second part of the show where we can talk about launch day. But we can't go there, Moy.
We can't
go there
because
yet.
we have to talk about what happened on Sunday.
We got business to talk about. We had people visiting us from across the universe.
So yeah,
Okay.
in this way, what you guys can do is describe what happened in the game like I'm your captive audience.
Yeah.
And, you guys can tell me how you all got stomped on last week.
Wow. Okay. So
Wow.
let's.
So-
you go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me set the stage.
You're good at that. Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
So we had Vektorkat, the the handsomest devil in the
Vektorkat.
Civilization universe. I know. He's the fire-breathing cat of Civ.
Yeah.
Kitten. Sorry. So Vektorkat came up with a charming little format. Very CivShow, by the way. It was like the perfect mix of like Vektorkat wildness and the CivShow. Where we each selected our favorite Civ and our least favorite Civ, although it somehow turned into our favorite Civ to play and our least favorite Civ to play against, as opposed to our least favorite Civ. And using a randomatron system, very advanced, state-of-the-art, we did a little shuffle, and each of us were assigned one of these random Civs. And it was crazy. Like, I chose Dumpster Fire, Kemur, as my opposite, and then I drew them, and then Moy was all like, "Hey, buddy."
I thought I
Hey,
put him in there, didn't I?
No, maybe you did.
I did.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
You did because I did Canada for my good one.
Yeah.
And who's the other one that I did? Oh, I did Georgia.
Yeah, you did Georgia. Yeah, you picked the easy way out.
I took the So yeah, Moy gave me Canada, which was totally against the rules and a violation of at least 27 Geneva Conventions. But
Wow.
So we had Canada, Khmer, Gaul, and
Korea.
Korea.
Yeah.
It was the most passive-aggressive, peaceful game of civilization I think we've ever seen on the CivShow. The only wars were accidental that counted, right? Like, really.
There was a big theological war, though. I mean, that was a big deal.
There was a big theological war. There
Yeah.
was and like somehow, as Canada, I guess it makes sense now. Canada's become a religious civ since since we do the Tundra
Work ethic,
the on work ethic.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a like violentless game of intrigue, where of course we got dwarfed by laser beam science.
The king just took his throne, man. I mean, like, we had nothing to answer. This guy, so Michael, Onspot TV. If you don't know who Michael is, you should definitely follow him on Twitch, Onspot TV. He is a professional CPL, Civilization Players League player, but he's also an admin in the CPL, and he completely stomped us. This guy plays multiplayer games every single day, and he knows the ins and outs of every civilization. So this guy took Korea and absolutely turned it to 11 against us, and had about 100 science by turn 70, maybe. And he had 400 science, I think, by the end of the game. It was insane. I was actually worried that we'd see a science victory at the end of 4 hours.
Yeah. Oh, and he was playing us like he knew what he was doing.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Korea's the civilization that when someone's new to the game, you say play Korea. You know, maybe Rome, but play Korea. Play Korea. The good way to learn the game is to play Korea, and it's because Korea's like base campus is like crazy.
+4.
Honestly, like,
He showed us how crazy it can be.
When with Onspot, right? Because you know I think we all kind of had the betting odds on who was going to win that game.
Oh, really? Wow.
And so, the one thing I thought was going to happen is I thought that that meme where someone like sits back in the chair playing, and then when they start losing, they lean up a little bit to focus more.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was going to be him. Like he'd like fall behind early, and then be like, "Oh, okay, we take this seriously now," and he just like crushes everybody.
No, he just leaned back the whole time, and it's like, this is easy. No. That guy didn't have to try at all.
I started beside him as Canada. So like he had me wrapped around his little finger quickly. Like I gave him like that like he could have totally scammed me, and I would have been like props if he had done that. Because at first like, oh, Zoe, let's be friends and allies. I'm like, okay. He's like, can I borrow 40 gold? Okay. So I gave him 40 gold. It's like, oh wait, I actually need 45 more gold. And like I was like, is this a joke? Is this like a CPL hazing? Like let's see how much the noob will give me, and then I'll declare war on them, and it wasn't. But it was enough for him to get a golden age. I helped him get levy units to get a golden age, which probably that early in the game, I think that was classical era. That probably made a big difference for his expansion. But yeah, otherwise I was his neighbor and Gaul, and we were peaceful. More like Gaul is as much as Canada could be hostile towards Gaul. I was like. I just ignored him when he said stuff like "Don't spread your religion in my land," But yeah, it was just such a peaceful game. It wasn't. It was still full of tension, but it was peaceful.
I want to comment that I think I played Chimer fairly well. I had aqueducts in a lot of my cities. I had like 20 pop in a few of them, and I think in 2 of them I had +10 in all of them. It felt good. Like Chimer felt good when we were comparing production stats at the end of that game. I was keeping up with you, and you had work ethic.
But I did, but I also had like population 6 cities, right? Like I had very small tundra. Like as you remember, I started in the north.
Yes. Where
there's this little teeny tip.
Yeah.
Tundra, and then there was the south, which was this vast expanse of river and tundra, which of course. I didn't. That was all the city-states.
No, but like Chimer has that reputation, obviously, of just being a difficult civ to play. You don't like to play them. I don't like to play them. I don't think Nystagmus is going to like to play them. If he had to play them, that would be a really interesting thing. By the way, we should definitely try that. They're just really difficult, and they're hard to understand.
Just giving me this civ and be like, "Hey, man, let's see what this guy can do with them."
Yeah, maybe you win. I don't know. Like maybe you just like show us up.
The $1 million question: would there have been any difference if I was there?
Would there have been any? So
Gaul Vektorkat kind of got steamrolled a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I think honestly, there would have been a difference because I have a feeling because you've been getting to quote a medical phrase more ballsy in your games lately, and I don't know. I could see you having had attacked Onspot. Like I could see that.
With his 700 science, yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
And wave after wave of warriors at him, man. It works.
Yeah,
eventually.
Exactly though. I could have actually seen you doing that. Like just I'm gonna attack him early with my Gaelic warriors and let's see what happens. Because like against Korea, that's your best defense.
Yeah, early attack, right? Yeah.
You got to attack them right away. Don't give them any chance. And like I unfortunately started beside like obviously, you're looking for if Canada's in the game, like, yes, Canada. All right. And we were buddies, like right off the bat. I think it would have been very different. And like, I don't know, what was Vektorkat's strategy that game?
I wish I could tell you. I don't remember.
He did. I like out religious him, but like the best
right.
Part,
he got screw you. I'm real Nystagmus. That was his religion.
Yeah. screw you, I'm real nystagmus. And then Korea didn't go for a religion at all, and they had a.
Wait, is that what he straight up that he
that's exactly
named his religion that? That's awesome.
But like, I was killing his faith. Like, in fact, I almost had his faith completely annihilated, and then the greatest treachery ever happened. My ally, my friend and ally, Kyber, suddenly sailed across the ocean with this massive army of missionaries.
It was like 5 apostles. Come on.
Our scribes tell the tale of how the 1,000 army of apostles and missionaries suddenly stormed across the sea, and they were confronted by the great, powerful
the horizon was scattered with their sails as they came across.
Yeah, dude, I did come across the water with all my apostles.
They crashed against the traveler's back. I should write little blurbs like that. That was the most exciting part of the game, though. Was he launched a religious sneak attack against the traveler. And that saved Vektorkat. Like, I had him on the ropes. I had him ready. I had guys hunting down his missionaries. I was converting his cities. And then Moy launched his religious sneak attack. And I had to fall back. And it gave Vektorkat an opportunity to regain his foothold. But then I destroyed the Chimera invasion. Like, suddenly just this army of Inquisitors rose up, and it was bad timing. I had just researched Reformed Church.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, theological, let's go.
It's funny.
Canada's going all completely religious war.
So I had theology. I had crazy culture that game. I had more culture per turn than Korea had science per turn at the end of that game. So I was actually really proud of that. But I didn't go theology, right? Because I didn't really see me going like a theological warfare until that happened. And you're like, your missionaries and apostles are so weak, boy. You're so terrible. And I'm like, okay, let's turn this on now. And then I put it in my cards, I put in theology, and then I murdered your apostles. And I'm like, yeah, what up, dude?
Whatever. If you murdered an apostle, it's because it was a relic-bearing apostle, and I wanted it murdered.
Oh,
okay?
Yeah? Okay.
Right?
Okay, Zell.
Travelers saw it coming. Either way, like, our insignificant war, it really didn't matter.
No,
like, we were so
you
far behind.
You can't defeat me. I quit.
Okay.
Well, like,
okay.
like,
it's like just flip over the table.
It's always that guy.
I was last place for science. I was last place for culture. Like, it was epic. But again, I started in this stupid little nipple. Okay, nystagmus. It was a nipple at the top of the map. Okay, that I was barely able to squeeze in. I think, like, the one cool thing, I had this one little area that was like 3 holy sites side by side.
Yeah, that was cool. That was really cool. Yeah.
Production powerhouses. And then there was at the top of the nipple, there's just one little piece of land. That's where I built a city, setting Nexus. So it was a conduit between. But that was cool.
That was cool. Matter. I commented on that. I'm like, this is a cool city. Yeah. It was awesome. So like Onspot had maybe like 900 military score, and then there was just like maybe 10 apostles in his land just like throwing lightning bolts at each other, and he's like, what is going on in my land? It's like, I just want like somebody to attack me, yet I'm just witnessing people yell words at each other all the time. It was a weird one for sure, but it was a fun game, right?
Yeah,
it was good.
It was fun. Like, we had alliances too that I kept messing up. So, like, I would declare war, and then a bunch of alliances would trigger and be like, wait, so now I'm at war with Onspot. I wanted to be at war with you, and I'm not even at war with you?
I had a defensive pact. I had a defensive pact with Onspot. So as soon as you declared war on me, you declared war on him, and I'm like, yes, Michael, go get him.
Vektorkat had me to a joint war that somehow I didn't declare war on you, but I did declare... I don't know. It was messed up. And I think we just did... What modes did we do?
We did
Secret
Societies.
We did Secret Societies, and I think we did Shuffle.
Oh.
Didn't we do Shuffle?
I think no. Did we?
No.
I
think we did. I think we
Did you guys like play the game? Like,
We did not do. No, we didn't do shuffle. We just did secret societies. I do remember this now. We did not do shuffle. We did it 2 weeks
Yeah?
ago. Yeah, not last week.
Well, albeit for me to call you a liar, Moy.
Exactly. Speaking of which, we're going to be taking a little bit of a break here. But when we come back, we're going to be talking about all things Babylon. The patch notes, analyzing, is Babylon as overpowered as really they seem to be? You'll find out next. Don't go anywhere because we will be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back. diarrhea. Oh, are we on?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
dude, what the hell?
Babylon.
Wow. Professional, Zoe. Professional. Come on, man. We don't want to hear about TMI, bro. TMI.
Hey, we were talking about uses for Pepto-Bismol, and then you pressed play.
I counted down, bro. What do you think I was counting down for?
I didn't. I was too busy about talking about the pink stuff. Okay, for you.
Speaking of pink stuff.
And Babylon's not diarrhea. Okay, Carl, don't worry. It's not diarrhea. It's actually the opposite. I really like Babylon. I did a whole thing on it today. You know that, Moy?
Yeah, tell us about it. Tell us a little bit about what you did today.
Let me take you on an adventure.
Okay.
I shape the tale here. So yeah, today I do these every now and then, a raising review, just an hour of playing something new. So I did Babylon with the Heroes and Legends, an hour on online speed. It was a lot of fun. And like, I think I have to commend Civ developers for all the new Civs. They were all a lot of fun. Like
yes.
when you're playing them out, they're all like, wow, this is so good. This is so cool. So a lot of fun. I didn't go into it prepared. Like, it wasn't like, I had my list of like, oh, I'm going to get all, I'm going to see how lame let's see how cheesy I can do this. Because that's actually not the conclusion I drew. I didn't draw a conclusion that Babylon was OP. I think every Civ is OP except for Poland and Georgia. No.
So let's
Georgia's
go.
S tier, man. You guys have always S tier.
S tier. Let's go through a little bit. I don't think we need to go through the abilities per se. Well, actually, no. Let's do that in case you don't.
We should.
Yeah,
Why
we should.
not?
In case you don't know, if you haven't read the abilities of Babylon yet, if you've completely lived under a rock, which is totally fine because Patrick Starr does too, and he's a cool dude. If you lived under a rock, and you don't know these Babylon abilities, let's take you through these. They have the unique ability called the Enuma, Anu, Enlil. Is minus 50% science per turn. That is a significant amount of reduction to science per turn. However, each Eureka provides
it's a Eureka. It's not a boost.
Okay.
It's not a boost.
So I'm going to call out everything that you say wrong from now on. But Eurekas provide all of the science for technologies instead of a percentage. So what means when you boost a science by getting a Eureka, then you get the entire technology instead of just getting 40% of it, which is insane. That is an insane ability, and obviously the most controversial one. We'll get to it in a bit. Let me finish the abilities first.
But you setting the stage and calling it insane and then saying we're not, okay, go on.
Hold on. Then you have
So
the unique...
you'll get your rant later, okay? You'll get your rant later. Yeah. Let Moy finish.
You'll get the raising rant later. Just give it a moment. Then you have the unique unit, the Sabum Kibidum. It is a ancient era melee unit. It's available right from the start. You can build it right from your first city. It is a completely unique unit. It does not replace anything. Does it upgrade to Swordman? Question mark?
Yeah.
It does? Okay,
yeah.
So it upgrades to Swordman. It gives you plus 17 combat strength against heavy and light cavalry. So that means it's basically also a spearman, but it's a melee class unit. That means it's also good against anti-cavalry. So this thing is good against cavalry and anti-cavalry units. It has 3 movement and 3 sight. Yes, that's a big deal. Unique infrastructure is the Palgum. It replaces the water mill. It's unlocked with irrigation. It provides +1 housing, +2 production, and all fresh water tiles receive +1 food. Lastly, the leader ability. If you don't know who the leader is, it's Hammurabi. I didn't know who it was, but I was told that he was the one that wrote the Code of Laws, because I'm a moron, but that's my own problem, so don't worry about it.
You said it.
I said it. The leader ability is the...
Your words.
Ninu Iliusirum. When each specialty district type except the government plaza is constructed for the very first time empire-wide, receive the lowest production cost building that can currently be constructed in that district. If it's another district that is not a specialty or it does not have a production building within it, you receive a free envoy when that is constructed for the first time, and that is Babylon. So, Zoe, how did you feel about Babylon in your first game with them?
Okay, so very fun, Civ. Okay, I don't think it's broken.
I agree
really
with
don't.
you. I agree with you.
I believe that people, whenever a new Civ comes out, like the only time I've seen a Civ that I'm like, I don't know about this one, was +1 movement for everything, just because that's such a simple, awesome bonus. So my experience with Babylon, it's like, yeah, you get a lot of science. You do. You get lots of science.
Mm-hmm.
But what ended up happening is like ancient era, classical era, medieval. Yeah, I got all these sciences, which is great. But I found that the empire itself, which is cool because I like this. It like they basically set it up that like, yeah, you'll get all this, but like you need the infrastructure to actually utilize it. So you better go and build that infrastructure. You better have the things, and you better have the production. You better have the gold. It's like, okay, great. You can build crossbowmen really quickly. Do you have the gold? Like, and even just to get that, right, you had to likely upgrade guys. Okay, so it's very expensive to get that sudden burst that would get you pike and shot, right? If you have 2 crossbowmen, you'll get that. Great, you'll have pike and shot. Do you have all the things in between to actually have the pike and shot? You don't. Okay, well, it's great that it's out of the way. Is there a science you actually want, but that you can't do the trigger for? Oh, sorry, you're not getting that science very quickly.
No.
Okay. Your science is going to be very dismal. Now, the irony, of course, not irony, like it's part of you do actually want to build libraries, because even though your science is garbage, just the great people, if you get a great person that triggers 3 sciences, okay, I got 3 Eurekas, I got 3 sciences.
Yeah.
Or if you want to build like, the great library. I didn't do any of that. Okay, I didn't build a single campus. All right. So
We already knew what your plan was going to be, so not going to build a single campus.
Science ability, it is spectacular. It is different. It is unique. I really hope that every new Civ is spectacular and unique. I found, though, that just because I had all of the science did not mean that I could necessarily act on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's like the Poland, that you have all these things you can do. It's hard to focus, though.
Well,
Okay.
No, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And full disclosure, I haven't actually like played Babylon yet. So I was watching a couple of our CivGive streamers play Babylon today, and I found like one thing that was pretty common theme is that sometimes if you aren't able to trigger the Eureka, specific ones that we're thinking of, that it can actually like pigeonhole you, or like it's like a filter, right? So like you have to hard research something that puts you in a bad position, especially early game. So for example, bronze working, right? I think you have to kill like 3 barbarians to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you can't find, I remember Bose was having trouble. He couldn't find all the barbarians to do that, and he had to like hard research it. Which in the early game, because you keep getting all these Eurekas, his science was like 2 per turn or something like that. And so there are like these certain things that if certain things don't work out for you, which are partly random, right? Like part of those things are random. Then you can get to these like these what's the word I'm looking for? It's like these the filter, like where
bottleneck?
It bottleneck. It bottlenecks you a little bit. And so when you're still trying to research this other one where you have these other researches all the way down the tree line, but you have to get the first one first, right? To get the strategic resource that you need.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty cool in the sense that there is a randomness associated with it, right? So in just like anything in life, I guess, like part of the start matters as well. If you can't get some parts that allow you to get the Eurekas, it can really bottleneck your tech tree and slow you down at the most inopportune time where everyone else is just blowing through the easy researches, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it is a truly cool, it seemed pretty balanced to me, a double-edged sword, where you can like run down the tree really quick, but it can bottleneck you at certain points and in the most inopportune times, and it's hard to fix it. Like it's hard to get around it.
What I found for me was the greatest difficulty, and again, like now I'm aware of it, I'll build against it. But it was production and money.
Yes, I felt the same way.
Like you ultimately, if you want to do all of these things, you need to have like money is the big one. If you're going to upgrade your guys from slingers to archers, and then from archers to whatever so that you can get your knight or your bombards. Okay, great. Do you have the money? That's a lot of money. Now, and I was playing on online speed, so that's a lot faster. On standard speed, that's significantly more difficult.
So I did play on standard speed, so I can tell you about the standard speed experience. So I didn't write down many notes, but these are the ones that I took away. So I only played one game with him, and I lost. I lost around turn maybe 100 or so like that. I played on deity, and I spawned next to Mongolia, Khmer, Sweden, and Gilgamesh, and I was like, great, I'm gonna get murdered. So I tried to go the route of early crossbowmen, because I know that crossbowmen are super easy to get. All you need to do is get 3 slingers, and basically you can just upgrade yourself to crossbowmen. You upgrade the 3 slingers to archers. You upgrade 3 slingers to archers, and you get crossbowmen. Yes, and then you upgrade 2 crossbowmen. You get pike and shots. That's it. Yeah,
and bombard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you need the niter. But I wanted to build pike and shots.
It's a niter rush, right?
That was my
niter rush.
Yeah, but pike and shots was my goal. I didn't get there, but anyway, I got a crossbow, and I was kind of curious. I'm like, wow, crossbowman. I got him on. I unlocked machinery on turn 41, and then I got my first crossbowman at 61. It took me 20 turns to save up 250 gold to then finally buy my first crossbowman upgraded from an archer. That's a lot of money. Right?
And you're hoping that nobody's assaulting you in this time.
Right. But I was very curious. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to declare war on Mongolia. I feel like I have my one crossbowman. How good is having one crossbowman? Like, how is this really a difference maker on turn 61? And so I did play on deity, so like that may have been the case here as well. But it wasn't as good as I thought it was. Like, it was okay, and it held its own, and like, but the problem is just, unit after unit after unit came. I was in a bit of a bottleneck, so I couldn't advance forward, but just, one unit at a time just kept attacking me. I couldn't upgrade because I had to keep shooting people, and eventually it got overrun, and so I had to retreat to my city, and then he was totally safe in his city, but it just didn't matter because eventually it got swarmed and it fell, and I lost. And the biggest bottlenecks for Babylon would be gold for sure, and production. It's hard to upgrade all those units. Like, you might have a plan, like, yeah, I want to go straight crossbowman and have a crossbowman rush. I was watching someone else earlier. I can't remember his name. I was watching someone else earlier, and they were saying like, oh yeah, this is the most OP civ I've ever seen in my life. This is the greatest thing. And I'm like, you should try them first before you make any opinion on that. He's like, no, this is my plan. This is the most flawless plan. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, play them first before you make any statements on this thing.
I think that in this case, I think that the way they were developed is you can get a little comfortable, and then you can plateau, and then you're screwed. So you can't just rely on your science. You have to make sure it is an infrastructure civ. You have to make sure that you've got lots of cities. You have to make sure those cities are decent cities. Okay, so you need that infrastructure to act on the knowledge that you have. And you can get into a situation like was just said, where you almost bottleneck yourself.
Yeah,
you missed a trigger. It's like you can't do the pike and shot. Why not? Well, because you don't have any spearmen to actually go and kill a guy, and now all their guys are beyond spearmen being able to kill them. Or that maybe you didn't get niter, and even if you did get niter, do you have 240 gold? Do you have the gold to actually go and upgrade all these? So you can't, like, I think that's what's kind of cool about it. It's like, yeah, you can lay back and be like, oh, I'm gonna get all these amazing sciences and all basic technology, but they're meant to be, you have to build the infrastructure. If you don't build the infrastructure, they can't act on any of it, and even then they have to think ahead. Yeah. What is our strategy? Are we going to war? And I think that's the cool thing about them is they have some versatility. I see them as a civ that can win the space race, but they could also win religious victory. They could also win. They can
be a pretty good domination
culture victory.
Domination, culture, yeah, for sure.
I think they can do it, but you have to make that critical decision, like, which way do you want to go? And if you try to do it all, you try to do everything, you end up doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
So I think that they are a deceptively simple Civ. They seem simple, but they're actually quite complex. And maybe not something
Right.
that.
I think you wait. Hold on.
Who was saying that they were simple? Who are you talking about?
I mean, not simple. I mean, an OP that like if I play this Civ, I'll just win the game.
Oh,
and I don't have
okay. Yeah, like I'm gonna have bombarded by turn 50.
They are complex. They are a complex civilization. Not to say that not any given Civ is complex, but they're not like,
That's
Korea.
Say what you think. Like Grand Columbia, they're not Grand Columbia. Like,
they're not
right.
Grand
Yeah, that'd be a good example. But I mean, I feel like if you put the civilization in the right hands, if you put them in with, I feel like Peppermint Butler would be the best person to give this civilization to. That guy is a thinker, and that guy can plan like I've never seen anybody plan a city. So like, I didn't watch his stream today, but I heard from Vektorkat that if you want to go see a masterclass of city planning, go watch Peppermint Butler's stream right now. He's streaming actually right now.
Peppermint Butler.
so you can hang out with us or go watch his stream. Wait, no, don't go watch that.
Have them both open. It's totally cool. But if you put Hammurabi in the right hands, and they know how to adapt and they know how to plan, that's where it's deadly, right? If you have a distinct plan in mind. And but I'm talking like you gotta know the math involved. You have to know exactly how many turns is gonna happen and what turn you're gonna get this thing. You know how much money you're gonna have on that turn, what you can spend it on. You can't buy this tile for this district because you need that 70 gold. This is such a planned civilization that. You know what I mean? Like you have to come in here with like you said, if you go and try to do everything, you're gonna get so lost, and that's what happened. That's exactly what happened to me. I tried to do everything. I tried to go in all parts of the tech tree, and I just lost it.
And maybe on the next podcast, I'll have a little bit more, just because it's hard to be able to play a game with Babylon and when you're becoming a new dad. So I will have more first-hand experience, but just from watching everyone play it, from secondhand experience, it does seem like, kudos to developers. Like this is like the best that like Civ can offer in the sense of how versatile they can make civilizations. Like how different. Like it's not like you can just pick it up and play, and everything. It's not like every Civ is just like a different shade of a different color, right? That they're so similar to each other. They're all so different from each other that it makes it basically a game within a game, kind of.
Yes.
Like, so just learning to play a specific Civ is like a game in of itself, because there's so many different moving parts that, playing with Babylon, it entails an entirely different play style than playing as like Grand Columbia or Rome or something like that. And I think like the civilization's ability showcases that, because it's such a unique ability, and it kind of makes me excited a little bit for like what's to come and how they're going to play with other Civs when it comes to right.
Empire wide minus 50%. Like
this
that's
is
bold.
This is the first double-edged sword Civ, right? Like that, where there's a clear negative.
Very clear. That's a massive negative.
Yeah.
Science is so important, and it makes you think like, well, what else? Doing a big penalty like that, minus 50%. What other Civs could maybe they do something like that for? I really liked it, and like to me, what it sort of embodied was like is a two-pronged thing. Like one, Hammurabi Babylonians, they're amazing writers. Like they're able to diffuse information very quickly and they learn it. But at the same time, that minus 50% to science, to me, it's like, well, it's not that they don't get it. It's just like distributed everywhere. It's like the empire is always learning.
Another cool idea would be,
everybody out there is always learning. Okay.
Like another cool idea.
Eureka.
Yeah, another cool idea might be, like, this is just off the top of my head, so I don't know how the math works out at all, and I may just be talking out my ass basically. But if they had something similar with culture, where like you can like double your culture per turn, but it nails you on tourism. Do a certain ability that Civ has that allows you to just run through the tech tree, and that's like the strength of the civilization. So even though on paper it looks like it's a culture victory Civ, because of the decrease in tourism, it's actually not, because you can run through the tech tree, the civics tree really quickly, that you can get up to different governments as fast as possible and make it more of like a domination civ.
I like that. That sounds like Gaul a little bit though.
Yeah, it does actually. So
it's like high culture, but like tourism doesn't really matter. Yeah.
But like when I first played them, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh man, like if I went like heavy culture, you know, like that was my first impression of them too, is that you could ignore science and just, you know, abandon science and just go for what is it going to be? Is it going to be culture? All right, go all culture, go all faith, go all gold, and they would have that focus. You know, and then you would know what triggers that you're looking for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
go ahead.
Sorry, I just the two things was, one, I do hope we talk about Legends and Hero briefly.
Yeah, let's move on to that. What's two?
And two, the infrastructure ability is cool, but in the end, you only get one of each. You only get one of each, right? Only once for each building. So you get one for your workshop, you'll get one for your shrine, you'll get one for...
Did you end up building the water mill? I never ended up building it because I died.
I did.
Was it good?
I loved it. Like I think, like, well, now that I look though, I see it. Fresh water gets +1 food. I don't know if I noticed that before, so I don't know.
That's what I was saying last week. So
yeah, that is a lot of food if you get the +1 on a river, obviously, especially if it's in like the right place. With a great bath. But yeah, I love that they took the water mill and turned it into a unique. That's awesome.
I agree.
Probably one of my favorite like buildings that they've introduced in a long time.
So
beyond like, I don't know, the hockey rink.
Oh God.
You know how much I love that.
Yeah, I know. He loved the hockey rink. So let's get into the Heroes and Legends game mode. This is an exciting one, and something that we're going to be featuring on Sunday as well. For sure, we're going to be playing this on Sunday. If you don't know what Heroes and Legends mode, Zoe, do you have the notes up in front of you? Can you introduce us to Heroes and Legends?
So, okay, so basically, there's lots of ways to trigger a hero. Exploring, you can, a city state can give you one. You can get them in by going through a goodie hut. I think they can come to you just by exploring the map. Be like, stumble across a hero. So there's lots of ways to get them, and then they're basically these super awesome military units that usually have, like, I had Mulan today. So Mulan's ability is each turn she gets a +1 combat strength. Okay, every turn that she exists.
That's insane, eh?
It goes up, up, up. She has like a movement of 5 and a range, so she's like this amazing archer. And at first, like, I got her, and I was like, shit, there's barbarians everywhere, and it was like I was almost getting killed. But then she got tough, and she was able to hold her own.
I watched that. I think because she's a cavalry unit, and you're up against a spearman, and so like,
yeah. So all of them get some cool, like they're all like fighters in their own right, so they can all defend themselves for the most part that I've seen. Sinbad was a lot of fun. Oh my goodness.
You get so much gold with Sinbad, right?
Sinbad's like, you could pillage gold, 250 gold on online speed, so that's probably like 500 gold on standard.
It is
speed.
500, yeah. That's correct.
You damage them 50%, and you get a bunch of gold. Like, wow, and they get a bunch of charges. So heroes, essentially, they're these super units. They have a short lifespan. So I think it's like, I don't know, 20 turns would be my guess.
30, I think I saw.
Okay.
On standard, so maybe 20 on online.
The big one for me is sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. They don't gain experience.
Right.
Okay. So that's problematic. They don't get experience. But most of them have, or many of them have, a charge ability that does lots of awesome things. So we just mentioned Sinbad. Hercules is like, I'm tough. What do you need? Done. He builds it for you. He automatically builds like a district. So all of these heroes, they give you either just an amazing combat ability, but then they can also do multiple things in the game. They have a lifespan, but once they go, you can resummon them. You can within your cities, you can retell the tale, and they can come to you. So like, they're essentially a city research option. At the very bottom where you have like, you have
The city project, right?
City project, yeah, they're like a city project. That you can keep bringing them back. They don't accumulate experience, which is problematic. I have no evidence for it, but I'll just say that when I got Mulan, suddenly barbarians were everywhere. So I don't know, maybe it's just part of her story. But they're just, they're a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing when there's like I didn't see the computer using them, so I'm looking forward.
Oh, I did. I definitely did. Yeah.
Okay, when we're playing and we see these nutso fun legendary guys coming forward, and I think to build them you need a monument.
Yes.
So each city builds a monument, and each city can then dedicate. Basically, I guess you dedicate your monument to the hero. So that was kind of cool. That reminded me back in the day of when military units were attached to a specific city. That's and I guess that's
they worship one hero. Each city can worship one hero essentially.
Each one can worship one hero, so you're encouraged to have multiple cities. It was really cool. I didn't get to have any hero on hero fights, but
so let's break down some of the heroes, or most of the heroes, probably all the heroes.
I'm interested in knowing what Beowulf's like base combat strength is, so I can gauge.
I don't know that answer.
Probably high.
Well, because he kills things that are under him like automatically.
So I would imagine it's probably just maybe it's dependent on the era you recruit him, but I would imagine it's probably it might be equivalent to the best unit that can be recruited in that era. That's my best guess. But I mean, we do have Carl in here maybe to answer that for you. I don't know. Let's go through the heroes though. We have Anasi. Anasi's tricks when located on a bonus or luxury resource. Anasi consumes the resource and generates 60 science and 50 culture. Wow.
So that would probably be.
This would be good for Babylon because that's not science per turn, right? It's just 60. That's just 60 science.
I'm guessing that changes though for speed, right? So it's probably like 120 science in online speed.
No, that would be 30 science then. It'd be halved because everything's halved, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Slower.
Yeah.
Okay.
King Arthur or Arthur. Arthur's accolade. Target an adjacent. Oh, I want to try this one so bad. Target an adjacent land military unit you control. Arthur transforms the unit into a questing knight, a unique heavy cavalry unit with increased combat strength and 12 lifespan. That means it can last 12 turns. Costs 1 charge and 1 movement. After the questing knight lifespan expires, the unit disappears and does not return.
So, borderline, Carl, lifespan. What a great idea. Giving a unit an era score effectively, like they end up going away. I really like that. Like in Civ, like I get it with a military unit, there's a reason there's like the 46th infantry. It's that they hand on from generation to generation. It's just that unit has been around that long. It's not that they're literally alive that long. It's that they hand over the torch. These heroes like, no, they're just alive for a little while and then they're gone. But don't worry, somebody will be reborn later that has love charges on military units. Love that so much. I hope we see more of that in the future, even though it would break the game when a Civ gets one of those.
Well, like I was reading this.
Love the mechanic. I love it.
I was reading this before. It's basically like mixing Warcraft and Civilization. This is what this is, because you get your like unique hero that represents your civilization essentially, and like you go out with your hero. And I think that'd be really cool if each civilization got one hero that they can recruit at a specific era. Right, unique unit, unique infrastructure, unique hero. That'd be sick.
Yeah, like we remember we were talking about this, like the Canadians would obviously be Rocky and Bullwinkle.
What's more Canadian than that, right?
Yeah. No, but like I agree. I think that would be very, very neat. Like, and the cool thing is, Moy and Nystagmus, I think we're seeing all the bits and pieces of Civ 7.
Maybe it's quite possible.
Well, how are they gonna? can they follow Sid Meier's formula in going to Civ 7 with the 33, 33, 30, like where they do, you know, the third new, a third old, and a third made better? I don't know. This is
We'll find out, right? We'll find out.
It's a pretty good, but these are modes.
Yes.
So Civ 7 would be like, no, it's not a mode. These happen.
Yeah.
And it'd just basically be a mortal great person. You know, it's a great person leader, military leader. That's not a general.
I love the idea that we have mortals in the game now. Even though they can be reborn, let's not talk about that. But we have mortals in the game.
Well, and even that, it's like being reborn. You know, that's not. I don't think that's like literally. You know, it's alive. No, I don't think it's anything like that. It'd just be like, you know, you embody the spirit of Beowulf, and you've got Beowulf in your heart, and thus you are the same.
So
for Civ.
We are running out of time, so we're gonna quickly go through these.
It's because of me, guys.
I'm just gonna name the names, and like if you remember or you're curious about it, just stop me and I'll explain it. But I'm just gonna name names right now. So there's Beowulf, there's Hercules, there's Himiko, Hippolyta, Hinafu, and Zabalinke, Maui. Okay, I'm curious about Maui. Maui.
Did you guys get The Rock to do his vote?
I would love that. That would be so good. You're welcome. I think that'd be awesome. Anyway, Maui's inventions. Used when located on an unowned empty plot. Maui creates a random bonus or luxury resource on the plot. Okay, interesting. Not overpowered by any means, but okay, interesting. Like you can get some luxury or bonus resources. That's just more food or whatever for your empire, right? That's awesome.
That would be really powerful for like upgrading like really crappy tiles.
Yes, that'd be true. Oh, like all your desert tiles, and like you put all okay, I like where your mind's at. Okay, then we have
desert tile now has wheat.
Yo,
wheat in the desert, man. It's Maui. He's a demigod.
Shut up. There's Mulan. There's Oya. There's Sinbad. So Sinbad, you were talking about earlier. Sinbad earns 500 gold whenever he discovers a new continent or natural wonder. He can also enter ocean tiles at any point of the game. Then he also has another ability where you can target an adjacent enemy naval unit or barbarian camp. This target is either cleared or damaged by 50%, and Sinbad immediately earns 300 gold. Wow.
So good. When he dies, does he tell you to delete his browser history?
I don't get that reference.
He's like,
it's from Rick and Morty.
Okay.
No, it's from American Dad. And American Dad, one of the characters gets abducted by aliens, and he meets Sinbad, and then Sinbad dies, and he's like, delete my browser history before he dies.
Okay. And then finally, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Go on.
Okay, and finally, Sun Wukong. I'm curious what this does. So Sun Wukong is hidden. That's interesting. Unless adjacent to an enemy unit, and he also has immortality. Sun Wukong has significantly increased lifespan. Wow.
So it's a unit that sticks around. Now, this little tiny tweak that they added to, I just find it funny.
It's funny.
Okay, before I even get to the tweak, what I find funny is that we long know that if you're gonna have anyone take you home from a party, okay, you'd want it to be Gilgamesh, because Gilgamesh is just so much fun. But then Hammurabi comes around, and Hammurabi's like, hey, I'm going to learn all about you, and I'm going to treat you with respect. I'll get you home safe, don't you worry. And we're going to have a good time. Okay, that's like Hammurabi to me. So, like, this is trouble. You know, Hammurabi's on the stage. Gilgamesh, what are you going to do? Well, don't worry, okay, because the legacy of Enkidu has been tweaked. All right, they thought of this. They were like, well, you can't have that the bearded Titan can't just be usurped. We have to give him a little something here. And I just love that Gilgamesh has a tweak in an introduction to Hammurabi. So now Gilgamesh has, when you have heroes and legends disabled, so when it's not on, when at war with a common foe, they and their allies share pillage rewards and share combat experience if they're within 5 tiles. Yeah. Their alliance gains alliance points for being in common foe. Okay, so I believe that's the standard.
That's the standard, right? Yeah, that's correct.
Now, if you've got legendaries on, though, well, it changes up a little bit. So now 25% production increase when claiming heroes, and heroes have a 20% longer lifespan. I love this because, like, just meta wise, like, you know, Enkidu, like the Legend of Enkidu, like Gilgamesh's story is like one of the oldest like pieces of fiction, right? And it's like, well, it just makes sense that for the civilization, for the leader, who is one of the oldest stories of fiction. This is not like we're saying this is, you know, religion or anything like that. That obviously they're heroes. They're going to be cheaper and they're going to last longer. They're going to stick around longer. Sumeria knows how to tell a good story that people will be telling.
You forgot the older story than that. There's an older story than that.
Something more older than the epics of Gilgamesh?
Yeah, it's Darmak and Jalad at Tanagra.
It is, yes. It is one of the oldest human legends, and like, it's a really good story. Like, it's a really good story.
If anyone got that reference I just said, you're my best friend ever. Chat.
You're a super geek like me and Nystagmus.
One guy got it. One person got it.
I want to tip my hat to
his arms open, nice.
Temba, his arms wide.
Shaka when the walls fell.
This is not Shaka when the walls fell. No, this is Temba, his arms wide. I really like that little tiny tweak. I think that's just fantastic.
So
we have time for great people.
We do have time for great people. Don't worry. I made sure we had enough time. That's why we moved on. All right. These great people, holy crap! There's some ridiculous ones. Oh my god.
So good.
Okay, so we're gonna go through every single one of these because there's enough where we have time to go through every single one of these. We have new great merchants. We have Zhao Deguan, activate in a city state to gain 3 envoys. Okay, that's not bad. Okay. Then you have Ibn Faldun. You get +1 trade route, and trade routes to city states gain +2 faith. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, right on. Great new addition to the great person. Okay, here's the different one that's gonna really shock your brain here. We have Stanford Raffles.
Yeah.
Hold on. Activate in a city state to absorb it into your empire.
That's with the base game. Okay.
And get +10 loyalty per turn in the city. That's if you have Rise and Fall and Gathering Storm. This is nuts. Are you kidding me? Like, what? Yeah, just take an entire city state. Stanford Raffles?
Yeah.
Okay, who wants to go?
We need a better know a great person, Nystagmus.
Well, he's busy right now. He's busy right now.
I know. In the future, I want to hear about Stanford Raffles.
So who wants to go through great scientists? We'll do one each and kind of rotate.
Sure.
Okay.
Great scientists. Okay, let me get there.
Nystagmus, you do great scientists. Nystagmus, do great scientists.
So we have Cheng Heng. Triggers a Eureka for celestial navigation, mathematics, and engineering.
Okay.
If they're already triggered, it completes them. So if you've already triggered them, then it completes the text.
Okay.
Then we have I don't know how to pronounce it. Khaldun. Chosen campus. So you do it on a campus, gains 2 housing and 1 amenity.
Wow, 2 housing.
Increases non-food yield benefits of happiness of your empire by 40%.
Wait, increases non-food yield benefits of
happiness in your empire by 40%.
So like luxury resources.
So I guess like production and stuff, because when your cities are happier, then they have more production and stuff too, right?
Whoa! What?
Yeah.
Holy crap! Okay, that's pretty good. The 2 housing too is really good.
And Margaret Mead grants 1,000 science and culture on standard speed.
Nice.
So 500 science and culture on online speed.
It's a gigantic burst of culture and science. I know this name, Margaret Mead. I just read something about Margaret Mead. I don't remember what.
You know who'd be really good with the previous one, the Khaldun? Scotland. Wow, are you kidding? Scotland would just become like they already have all those happiness benefits, right? This is almost a guaranteed 40% bonus to that. It's great. And they get better great scientists too, Scotland. So like they're almost more guaranteed to get this than anybody else. Oh my god, Scotland, S tier. Here we go. Here we come. Here it comes, Scotland.
Oh, they're gonna dethrone Georgia? I don't know. Boy, tell us about the great generals. I'll do the admiral.
Okay, I'll do the
you
generals then. Okay, so we have Dandara. It gives you. I'm gonna go with. Oh, this one's funny. This one's hilarious. I think this one is the most hilarious one that I've read. When I read this one, I couldn't believe this existed. Sorry, Carl. Dandara, +5 combat strength and +1 movement to industrial and modern era land units. Okay, so let's establish that. It is an industrial level great general or a modern era level great general. Here is the retire effect real quick. You get a warrior monk with 1 promotion. Okay. When do you get warrior monks normally? Classical era? When you get a religion?
Like yeah.
So you get a warrior monk in the industrial era?
You get cornered. You get cornered, and you're like, well.
And then
I guess I'd rather not start in a city somewhere else. Let's fight this to the death.
Even then, like you probably only retire him after the modern era. So in the atomic or information era, right? And then so in the information era, like, oh, here's my 1 warrior monk. Oh, I'm gonna kill you with my warrior monk.
Maybe he's lame and you get him in the ancient era, and it's like, well, do I want to keep this guy who doesn't do anything until the industrial era?
maybe. I don't know. I just thought that was hilarious.
I must live 1,000 years, and then I will be useful.
Then you have no way I'm going to pronounce this name. I'm going to say Trong Trak. He is a classical and medieval era great general. His retire effect is you permanently reduce your empire's war weariness by 25%. So not useful for Macedonia, but useful for everybody else. Then you have Tupac Amaru II. I had to Google who this was because I legitimately thought it was Tupac, and I'm really sorry. He's a modern and atomic era great general. I'm sorry, Nystagmus. And his retire effect is that he grants this one's nuts. He grants a musketman in each of the target's cities in indefensible and undefended districts. What does that mean? Basically, all the districts that are not an encampment. So if you have a harbor, and you have a campus, and you have a holy site, and you have an industrial zone, you put this great general and you retire him in that city, you just got 4 musketmen in the atomic era, baby.
That is pretty sweet.
Yeah, and you can upgrade them all. So that one's actually useful, unlike the stupid warrior monk over there in the atomic era. Let's go through the great admirals.
The great admirals. Okay, so many of you will know this first one. He is one of the 6 friends. This is Matthew Perry. And it is apparently Matthew Perry. He served.
Can he be any more of a great general?
Yeah, he's an admiral. He's an admiral.
Sorry.
He's a rear admiral Matthew Perry. It's quite a story.
Okay, Rozo, pivot your story.
Rose to the ranks. +5 combat strength, +1 movement to modern and atomic era naval units within 2 tiles. Okay, so you got your standard there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the retire effect is grants enough envoys to become suzerain at selected city state. This removes all other envoys. So,
oh my God,
Matthew Perry, and this is where I know this is true. He basically comes forward and he says, "Listen, I got this good show. I'm this sarcastic guy in it. It's called Friends. You're gonna love it." And they're like, "We do. We love it. Forget Moy. They don't even remember Moy. Moy is gone. He's dead to them. It's only Matthew Perry and Friends now. They erase all envoys from a city-state, and now you become suzerain. Now, I guess if all envoys are erased, you only need like what?
3 technically. No, but I don't think that's how it works. I think like, so let's take your Rough Rider Teddy game, for example, where you have like 30 in every city-state, right? Yeah. I think it gives you 31, and then it erases all the other ones, which is like...
I hope so.
That is so... that is a guaranteed city-state Caesarian bonus. We dropped so. That is a guaranteed Caesarian city-state bonus for your empire. So if you get Matthew Perry, you prioritize Matthew Perry, and you know you want to get 1 city-state, whether that's Yerevan because you want to get a religious victory, or whether that is Milto because you want to get plus 25% science for all your strategic resources. This is an insane grade general. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, this is cool. Matthew Perry, come on. So then we've got Himerios. Plus 5 combat strength, plus 1 movement to a medieval Renaissance naval unit. Now, if you retire him, though, grants 1 promotion level and 25% combat experience to a military naval unit.
That's
Like, I just read Matthew Perry, and then I read this one. It's like, wow.
Yeah, this one's like a standard admiral. I see this one all the time.
Yeah, standard admiral. And then, why not, I guess? Throw him in there. And then we got Hanno. That name sounds familiar. Hanno, the Navigator. Plus 5 combat strength and plus 1 movement to classical and medieval era naval units. If you retire it, creates a naval melee unit with a plus 2 movement. So that's kind of cool.
That's kind of cool.
Get you a galley that's faster than the average galley.
Well, this is classical medieval, so this could potentially, you can save it for a caravel. I think it's like whatever you research. So you can save this for a caravel, maybe even. It's like a cheap caravel, right?
Could, but you're probably getting it early.
Yeah, but I would save it until you can get a caravel, and then you can use that as your first caravel, and that's an early caravel that you have. That's my opinion. My opinion.
Yeah. I'd buy that for $1.
All right, pay me $1. Nystagmus, why don't you take us through the great engineers? Lastly, the great engineers.
So these guys are pretty cool, actually. So Himotep. So if anyone remembers he's a character from like the Mummy movies, right?
Yeah, I thought he was.
Yeah, grants 175 production towards wonder construction, doubled if the wonder is from the ancient or classical era.
Love that. Is like a proper engineer. Like, the ancient era needed an engineer. I'm glad that Imhotep is there.
I wonder when you get him, though. I wonder if you get him like in the medieval era, because that would make sense.
I bet he's early. It's got to be early. It's got to be.
He's Egyptian, right?
Okay.
Like, it's got to be like classical, great engineer. Then we have Shah Jahan. Grants production towards wonder construction, capped at half your current treasury, then reduces your gold by twice the amount of purchase production.
Wow.
Wow.
That's some interesting math.
What? Okay, wait. So it grants you production half of your treasury. So if you have 500, you get 250 production. Then it reduces your gold by twice the amount.
Yeah, so it's capped at half your treasury, so you can't spend more than the gold you have.
Yeah.
Oh, you can choose?
Yeah. Well, no, it'd be like if you had
grants
1,000
production.
gold,
It grants production.
Up to 500 production, but it would cost you 1,000 gold.
Oh.
So it's like being able to buy a wonder.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
That's cool.
That's
cool.
Yeah.
And then we have Kenzo Tangi. Grants tourism in each of the city's districts equal to its adjacency bonus, and it's halved for gold.
Holy crap. Are you kidding? Yo, this is a Pantheon killer. If you get Canada, you get Mali, you get that desert or whatever Pantheon, you get this thing instant culture win. Like, this is the easiest game of your life. Are you kidding? You get work ethic and you get this thing.
In it should be a win.
Sorry?
Anything with Enzo in it should be a win. So that makes sense to me.
Get out of here. No.
Don't get it? Don't get it?
No. I'm going to say no, and I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go through the city-states. This is the last thing we're going to go through before we end the podcast here. So we're all going to take one at a time. I'll go first. We have Ayutthaya. Sure. It's a culture. I get a pass. It's a cultural city-state. Its Caesarian bonuses. You gain culture to 10% of the construction cost when finishing a building. It's pretty good. It'd be good for the Gaul because then you get culture for units and buildings. Wow. You basically get culture whatever you do, right? It's not bad. Who's next? Zoe, you go next.
Johannesburg is industrial. You get cities receive +1 production for every improved resource type. After researching industrialization, it becomes +2. So So every
Wow.
improved resource type. That's a resource type. So are we saying luxury, bonus, strategic? Are those types?
No, I was thinking like
Or is it like
rice,
maize and iron and
yeah, I was
if
thinking
it's
that.
that, that's amazing.
Maybe I'm wrong, but
if,
yeah. Wow, like
if it's the former, okay, that's impressive.
It might be strategic. Yeah, it depends on whether or not it's strategic or all resources, right? So
yeah, I don't know. That's a good
Hopefully
question.
it's type and it is like that, but that'd be really crazy. Like you can very easily have, 6 or 7 different types. That's probably it. That's probably
No, because
it.
it
So,
is only bonus. It is only bonus, strategic, and luxury. Those are the 3 types. There's no other types,
yeah.
right?
As far as I know, that's what I would consider a type. But as we know, I also think a eureka is a eureka and not a boost.
I also think
so.
I don't think a shrine is a holy site, but you call it a shrine every time anyway. So
yeah, I honestly
Question is,
think like
do you understand what I'm saying when
I
I
honestly,
say it?
yeah, like I think it could be things like was said in chat here, farm resource, mine resource, pasture. So like
that could be
it's
good,
not for
yeah.
every one of them individually, it's for every type that's been
Okay.
done. So if a city
Okay.
has like iron and rice and like sheep or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Then it's 3. Then it's +3.
That would make more
right?
sense. That would be good and still balanced. I like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
So woolen, it's a militaristic. Suzerain bonus is receive great general points when a land unit defends a civilization or city-states unit, and receives great emerald points when a naval unit defeats.
Yes.
When a naval unit defeats a civilization or city-states unit equal to 25% of the opposing unit's strength on standard speed.
Wow, this is like
Seems
France's great, not great, France's unique unit, but for everybody. Because France's unique unit, you get great general points when you kill a unit, and that's why
okay.
it's really
Right.
good. But this is like anytime a unit dies from anywhere, you get a great general or great admiral points. That's a pretty good one. I like this one. This one's really like focused toward like if you get this one, you're going to war, 100%, or you should be going to war anyway, in my opinion. Zoe, why don't you do the next one and then Sagmus, you do the last one.
There's 3
Oh,
more.
there's 3 more? Okay, I'll just take this one then.
Yeah.
I'll take this one. I can't count. Yikes. So then there's Chinguetti. It is a religious city-state. Its bonus is international and domestic trade routes receive +1 faith for every follower in this city of your founded or major religion. Wow. This is really good. This can you can really snowball with this.
Yeah, I like that.
This is a good Chimer one because Chimer has such high population. If you can do a domestic trade route to your capital city as Chimer and you're getting like +20 faith from that one trade route, holy crap, bro. This is insane. Okay, I like this one.
Well, the city-state's got to get big.
No,
Yeah.
I thought it was the
Yeah,
interesting.
it's
I thought it was
for
the
every follower-
destination.
Yeah, no, it's for every follower in this city.
Oh, never mind. I take it back. This one sucks. Move on.
And
All right.
and it means that you may want to spend charges to get this because it converts when you have the majority of the citizens, but not all of the citizens.
Right.
So you may actually want to
Every
use.
follower, that can get high really quick. That's like
No, I meant so if the city state has 10 people, right? And
Yeah.
6 of them follow your religion, you may actually want to spend charges to get that 6 to 10.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
Even though the city's already,
Yeah,
even though the city's been
that's still-
converted.
That's still sweet.
Okay. It's just not as good as I thought it was.
Not as sweet as Nalanda. Okay. Nalanda is where it's at. This is a really cool little one. This is like one that we can all share. Nalanda is almost like the village bicycle. Can I say that? So scientific type. And so the suzerain bonus is city states and their suzerain can build the Mahaveria improvement.
Mahavihara.
So here's the cool thing about the Mahaveria improvement. It's a +2 science and +1 housing. Very nice. +1 faith for every adjacent holy site. +1 science for every adjacent campus. Very nice. After researching scientific theory, receive an additional +1 science for every campus. Very nice.
Wow.
Here's the really cool thing. When a player constructs the first Mahaveria receives a random technology. Now, when I see that, is it a random technology I can research, or is it a random technology? Could I get robots? Could I get death bots, murder bots in the ancient era? Ooh, by random. I'm guessing.
Well,
I'm guessing it's
unlocked thing ever because
research.
No, but like, well, it also might also make you like dead end. Like, oh yeah, I can get death robots now, except I don't have uranium yet.
Yeah, that's true.
The first one's for whatever. Okay, yeah, even if it was though, you could claim I got death robots. Okay, I know how to build them.
It'll just take me 500 turns to build it.
Just take me,
It's basically like it's doing that would be like having Leonardo da Vinci be like, "Hey man, I got a helicopter." What do you mean you got a helicopter? What are you talking about? He can build the helicopter? No, I can draw the helicopter.
Yeah. That's why it's cool. It's like, yeah, I got combustion. Okay, like maybe combustion might give me a bonus to one of my other things. Must be built on a flat terrain, not adjacent to another one of them. So it is neat to see a +2 science +1 housing. That's not usually a terrain improvement that we will see. So I like that. And then the first one, now I'm guessing it's the first one ever built.
Yes.
When a player constructs, oh no, it's their first.
Empire wide.
That's right. So we'll all get, that's why I meant the village bicycle.
Yeah.
So
I'm assuming that like,
and now you do it, and then you do it.
Because the Caesarean ship can like switch, right? And so
it can switch it up. So that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
We have some Markland. So Markland is a trade type city state. The Caesarean bonus, you get to build the trading dome improvement.
This one's
trading domes give you +2 gold, and then you get +1 gold for every adjacent luxury resource. Your ongoing international trade routes get 1 +1 gold per trading dome at the origin. Cannot be built next to another trading dome.
We're gonna see Zoe's land. It's just gonna be trading domes everywhere.
I want to be the Mali.
Do you know what's better? You know what's a good improvement, guys? Trading domes. You know what the best improvement in the game is? Trading domes. Just keep building trading domes, and you just trade your dome your way. And
I don't understand. Why don't you have any trading domes? Like, this is the best improvement. You should have every one of these trading domes. I don't get it.
I don't have enough gold in this game. Did you build your trading domes yet?
So I know, Zoe, you don't particularly like tile improvement city states, right?
Yeah, but this is different. This is a special district.
Right.
This is a district.
District? Sorry, district? Is that what you're saying?
Is that what it is?
District?
No, it's an improvement.
I'm sorry.
It's an improvement.
I didn't know what you meant. Oh, improvement. Oh, now I understand what you mean. I'm sorry. You used the wrong terminology there. Please continue.
So like shrines and temples and stuff.
Yeah, you boost in Eureka. It's the same thing.
Sorry, when I first read this, I remember seeing Trading Dome as that was promoted as one of the new improvements that was being added. I didn't realize that it was connected to this, but yes, this is different. It's gold. Usually they're silly things. Okay, this is gold.
Can we paint his Vina gold? Yeah, this one's really good. If you're the Mali, obviously. If for anybody, this is really good. If it gave housing too, this would be fantastic. The +2 gold on its own isn't that great. If you attach it to luxury resources, it can be okay, but definitely the value is when you get trading routes, and that's when you can finally push out your gold. Gentlemen, any last words before we end for the night? By the way, thank you for the follow, TGM. Appreciate it, buddy.
Just that this patch was pretty fun. I would like to suggest something for Sunday, for what we're playing Sunday. I'd like to talk about that briefly.
Okay, let's do that.
All right. So this Sunday, we've got an exciting show for you all. And I've actually decided, because Moy, I believe we liked my idea, that I'm going to tweak it slightly right now. So on the next show, we have Peppermint Butler.
Peppermint
Butler. Going to be joining us. So the theme of the next show, it's going to be packed full of fun, because we're going to celebrate the last 3 packs that have come out. Okay, so we got the Ethiopia pack, Byzantium Gaul pack, and the Babylon pack. To celebrate these, the trifecta pack, we are going to play a game where between the 4 of us, it'll be between Ethiopia, Byzantium, Gaul, and Babylon. And random decision just now that I realized, like, yeah, we should probably do this. To also celebrate it, we'll be playing the 3 game modes that these 3 civilizations.
I knew you
Oh,
would do
why
that.
shuffle mode? Don't
So
put
it'll
on
be
no.
secret
Okay,
societies,
hold on.
dramatic ages, and heroes and legends.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm gonna veto shuffle mode because that's not fair for Babylon.
No, I didn't say shuffle mode. We'll just use these ones. Save shuffle mode for another day. When did shuffle mode
it was a free one.
Shuffle mode was not
one.
a Byzantium Gaul pack.
No.
That was just a thing that
Thank
was
God. Oh, thank
right?
God.
No shuffle mode. Don't worry about shuffle mode. All right. So we're gonna have a battle between the last 3 packs that have been introduced because they've all been so much fun. And the most important thing will be who gets to be Babylon. It'll be random. Hopefully it's Zoe. And then, yeah, we'll do Secret Societies, Dramatic Ages, and Heroes and Legends. It'll be an epic worthy of Gilgamesh. Okay. Worthy of Enkidu, even. So join us on Sunday. Special guest, Peppermint Butler. And we're going to have a pack royale.
Man.
That's what I'll call it. Pack
Oh,
royale.
I was gonna call it Epics of
Poster menu.
Firaxis, but I guess we can call it Pack Royale.
Epic of Firaxis. Oh, that's even better! Damn you, Moy! Damn you!
Let's go!
And then, if you also like everything that we're doing, the other major event that we're holding is in December with the Civ Give. So we are going to be playing. Peppermint Butler is one of the Civ Give streamers that we will be playing with during that game. But we're also going to be having your friendly civilization streamers to join us. Bose, Van Bradley, Onspot TV. Sorry, I'm blanking.
You can do it. There's a lot of them. I know.
New dad brain. 100 games, 100 days, and
it's 2 more.
Say foibles.
Yeah, foibles. Sorry. Yeah.
And then Peppermint Butler.
And I said that already.
He wasn't in your.
Oh, whatever. All right, yeah, we're gonna be raising money for children's hospitals through Everbright, and which is a great cause, especially during the pandemic. A lot of the hospitals are under a lot of strain, and so it's a great cause. So come join us for that. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna raise money for a great cause, and
Extra Life,
yeah, Extra Life. Sorry, my bad. Again, new dad brain, right? So.
It's all good. Yes. We can't wait for December 20th. It's going to be really good. We're going to be drafting our civilizations on November 28th, which is next Saturday. Next Saturday, we're going to be drawing it. So that's when we know who we're going to vote. And we're going to need the community. We're going to need your help. We're going to be choosing 3 civilizations, and it's up to you to vote for who you want to see featured in the Civ Give. Each streamer is going to have 3 civilizations that they get to choose from, but it is ultimately up to the community to vote for each streamer which one they want them to play. So we'll be putting out a Google Forms or a straw poll for all of the streamers, and you got to vote for it. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, this is all the time that we've had for the podcast. We appreciate you listening. If you haven't already followed us on Twitter, you definitely should, because that's where you get all your civilization news and updates and all these really good memes. You like memes, I like memes. Zoe even likes memes. Boomer brain, but that's fine. You follow us on Twitter at TheCivShow.
Love me a meme. If you want to learn more about Zoe and Moy and Nystagmus and the community in general that's all part of the Civ Show, join us on our Discord. It's one of the best ways to reach out to us. It's a very awesome, friendly community when we're not talking about politics. No, we're good then too. Most of the time. Awesome community. Come out, join us on the Discord for the Civ Show, and just see what all the hoopla is about.
And you can also check us out on our YouTube channel, which we make our other off-screen or off-stream content. I make a series called Better Know a Leader. Last one was Basil II from Byzantium. And Zoe makes his review series, Raising Reviews, and he actually
Two
had
of them now.
So it's an official series now that he has 2 episodes. And Moy also creates videos that are pretty topical for the civilization community, and we have a new series coming up pretty soon, Civ from Different Perspectives, where each of us plays the exact same game, and you can see all of our decision-making processes. Usually, someone obviously being worse than the other 2 guys here. So, so definitely check that out when we post that too.
That one's going to be a good series. I really recommend that one. And we also have a very special guest on the podcast, but we're not going to announce him yet. Not yet. But stay tuned for that one. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. I promise you that.
It.
All the hype is real. All the hype is real. He's going to be a good one.
It's legit excitement.
But wait. We're going to wait until
we're
going to wait until at least December 3rd, and even then we don't know if we're going to announce it then, but we're going to wait. Anyways, guys, thanks for coming out for the podcast, and we'll see you on Sunday for the Civ Show with Peppermint Butler. Have yourselves a wonderful night.
Good night.
Later.